It's finally time for the middle child of the craft worlds. Hello fellow hunters of the blue, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to Zero Skill, a series of videos where I show you the simplest and most effective way of painting your models. In this video we paint ALAITOC with their characteristic camouflage using a super cool trick, and of course I will show you how to take the scheme to the next level with some optional finishing details. As you might know, Vallejo is now the sponsor of the series to showcase their amazing range of express paints, to me, and I'm obviously biased, the best one-coat paints in the market. I will leave a link in the description to the Vallejo web so you can check the immense array of products they offer, well, like Express, the focus of today's video. And now, let's get cracking. As you can see, we are starting from Vallejo Grey Primer, a really good starting point for the scheme, and I want to do the classic camouflage kind of color scheme that ALAITOC is famous for, and for that I'm going to use a sponge. You can buy this like slabs of this very airy and coarse packing sponge. What you do is you just pick off a piece like this, and you can hold it with tweezers or however you want, and I'm just going to dab it into some mechanical standard gray, and I'm going to keep on tapping until the pattern that I see is what I want, something like that. And we can start dabbing this into the model. The idea is for this to be as random as possible, so don't worry too much if some of the dots are too big or that's too small, they don't feel coherent. That's exactly what I'm going for. And also don't worry about any other details that are not this color. We don't really care about them. Your model should look something like this. And now I'm going to do the same, but using white. I like to use a satin white because that gives me a better result with the Express afterwards. But if you don't have a satin white, just do a normal white and then a satin varnish on the top. I do prefer this order, so the darker color first and the lighter color later, because sponging tends to capture all of the raised details more, so this will enhance the highlights effect. If we do the darker stuff afterwards, it's going to look like the dark spots are more in the corners and edges, and that will look a little bit weird. If you feel like some areas are not getting filled with these dots, feel free to go with your brush and just do some random marks here and there. Might be necessary in some areas where the sponge is not necessarily reaching as well as it should. Something like this should be the final result. And now I like to do the final step, which is to finish the pre-shading with a final highlight. We can do this in two ways. One, the zero skill method, which would be some dry brushing, just taking some pure white and using our dry brush to add the final highlights. The idea with this highlight is just to pick, well, I have to fix that now, but oh my god. That's what happens if you don't let your models dry properly. I will pin and highlight that. And you see that we get some really nice definition. If you want a little bit more control and a little bit, let's be honest, a better result, you can always go for a edge highlight using pure white. Of course, edge highlighting is way more difficult, but the final result will be better. So whatever you choose, it's up to you. This doesn't need to be the most perfect edge highlight. It just kind of needs to be there, and we will call it a day. But again, if you want the easy method, just a dry brush will be more than enough for the general troops and stuff like that. I ended up doing a hybrid approach with a rough pass with the dry brush and then a very quick edge highlight. Now I'm going to paint all of the blue, and for this I'm just going to use Legacy Blue, but thinned down with Express Medium. This is 1 part Legacy Blue, 2 parts Express Medium. Legacy Blue is a lovely paint that has just the right level of transparency to show all of that subtle work we did on the armor. This is obviously not going to be as prominent as if we just painted everything with different shades of blue and did like a proper camo pattern, but it's good enough, at least for me. especially for the amount of work we've put into this, which is basically none at all. The blue is now almost dry, and you can see what a good looking armor we have. And if you want a more intense pattern, instead of using the gray in the sponge process, just use black. Start with a light gray, then black, then white, and you will get a more intense pattern. But I kind of like this look. Also note how the hybrid approach with the highlights worked incredibly well, because now we have a really well-defined model. It was really worth spending extra couple minutes just doing the most prominent edge highlights with white. It really pays off right now. Now, because the process was so messy, it's time to clean things up. For all of the tubes, joints and stuff like that, I'm just going to use black. And for the light color details, I'm going to go with Corax White. I like Corax White because it just covers so nicely over any color, and two quick thin down layers of this will give us a perfect starting point for both the yellow and the bone. It's also a satin paint, so Express will work just fantastically over this. Well, look who made a mistake. So, let me go back a little bit. When I do these zero skill videos, the idea is to lay a foundation, a pre-shade, onto which I build all of the colors. But I was so excited to see how the blue will turn out that I forgot that I should have done the black and the white before applying the blue and before applying the highlights to set a blue area. So now I have an issue, because if I want to do a dry brush, I risk ruining this blue. I am still going to try, but just have in mind that if you want to do this, you should clean with black and white before applying the highlights to the dotted pattern we did on the body. And then we do all of the highlights on top of that, including the black and the white, and then the subsequent layer. So what I'm going to do is now pre-shade the white areas. And for this, I'm going to use Twilight Rose. I'm going to use this for the yellow, but I'm also going to use it for the bone, just to give it the same kind of feel to the yellow. And I'm going to use a mix of 1 part Twilight Rose and 5 parts Express Medium. In my defense, I will say that the blue was really exciting. Totally worth it. But I should have been paying a little bit more attention. But I'm going to show you that you can fix basically anything as long as you believe in yourself. And don't be discouraged by making mistakes. We all make mistakes. I certainly do. And trust me, all of those painters you see winning Golden Demons and being just so amazing that you just spend hours seeing their miniatures on Instagram or whatever. Trust me, they all make mistakes as well. The only difference is how you react to them. You can wipe out some of the Twilight Rose from the front of the head, just to give yourself sort of a head start, so to speak. The Twilight Rose wash is basically dry, and now I'm going to do a dry brush using white. Again, the idea is to do this dry brush over everything and then highlight it. And because I can't really fit a dry brush in the tiniest spaces now, I'm going to do the same hybrid approach that I did on the body, and I will do a rough dry brush using white and a little bit of edge highlighting just to get all of the details. In the case of the light details, not as important as in the body, but you know, I mess up, so now I have to pay the price. I'm going to go as close as I can to the details without touching any of the blue. And then I do have a secret weapon that I'm going to use. And that is this teeny tiny dry brush. It's my favorite one because it just allows me a lot of precision. And I can almost get to the very, very edge of the blue. I love this thing. Also great to do stippling. Here. Just like that. I love this brush so much. This is the final result, and you can see that I even could do the black bits with that precision. It's just amazing. And I'm going to start with those black bits, which I'm going to do a layer of black lotus over them, as I usually do. That will give me a really nice highlight on the black details with no effort. I usually do that for weapons and stuff like that, because most of the weapons on the color schemes are black, but not in this case, so just for these details. Now I'm going to paint the bones, and for this I'm just using bag of bones. Really simple colors for this craft world, but hopefully the purple, the pinkish shadow on the bone is going to provide a slight different touch, like a warmer bone color, which I think really benefits having such a blue armor. And for the yellow details, I'm just going to use Imperial Yellow with no, and again, no thinning. Imperial Yellow is not a really intense color, so it just works perfectly out of the bottle for this kind of slap choppy kind of pre-shading work. If you want a slightly darker yellow or a different tone, you can just use Dreadnought Yellow. It will work just fine. I just really like this combination. It will never cease to amaze me how much like magic this looks. I'm going to do more yellow details because I really like the color combo, so I'm going to put all of these colors with yellow. I painted all of the metallic with the H-Metal Triad from True Metallic Metal, as I always do, and now I'm going to paint the gem and the eye lenses, and for this I'm just going to use Velvet Red. And we can build this up in a couple layers to increase the darkness around the top right corner of the gem, just like that. And with that last step done, the model is ready for the table. This is the end of the zero skill part of the video, and I think she looks incredible. It's just so good. I'm so happy with the result. But as always, I'm going to show you how you can take this to the next level with a couple of extra optional highlights. As always, let's start with the most interesting part, so we later get tired and leave the mini halfway painted. And because we did all of this work to get this lovely texture on the armor, we don't really want to do any volumetric highlights whatsoever because we're just going to lose that effect. So I'm just going to concentrate on doing an edge highlight with Elfic Blue from Game Color. I'm basically just tracing back the highlights I did with the white in the pre-shade portion. We just want to add definition, so I'm just going to use this as my all over edge highlight, and I'm going to try to do a thin edge highlight. With that highlight done, you can see that we have now much more definition, and yeah, I did apply a couple of volumetric highlights. You can sue me if you want. And for the next highlight, I'm going to do a 50-50 mix of Elfic Blue and Verdigris from Game Color. And this is going to be, again, a thin edge highlight, but concentrated towards the points of more light. For the final highlight on the blue, I'm going to use pure Verdigris, and I will do just a very small dot highlight. If you've never thought about using a color like Verdigris to highlight blues, try it now. It just makes the blues pop so much. It's the yellow, you know. Yellow is just the best color. It's so good that it even makes blue good. With the armor done, it's now just a matter of finishing the rest of the details. I'm going to start with the yellow, and for this I'm just going to use Toxic Yellow, which I'm going to use it a little bit of stippling motion here on the center of the helmet to emphasize the shape and give it more volume, just like that, as well as a simple thin edge highlight on all of the edges. And with the yellow done, it's time to highlight the bone and I'm just going to do a thin edge highlight using off-white. And with the last step and the basing done, here is the final result, and oh my god, it's stunning. At this size the pattern is subtle, but I think it looks great. If you want to support me, you can check my Patreon where I offer in-depth uncut tutorials and private classes. Help me and join the list of the coolest people in the world that you can see on the screen right now. And as for me, I will catch you in the next one. Bye!